Whintosser Industries. Right, hello there, and welcome to Story Time with me, Niles von Cliburn. And today we will be talking about the history of Whintosser and where the name came from, who the founder was, and how the company became what it is today. So let's begin. Our story starts with Eugene Archibald Whintosser, born sometime in the early 1800s. Eugene Whintosser, little is known of his early life. Some say he immigrated from America to Europe, while later in life Eugene recounts his boyhood growing up on Rapa Nui. He spent his early adulthood in New England, and by the 1850s he joined the ill-fated William Walker as a cook. Now he befriended William Walker on the stories of adventure, and in 1855 he accompanied Walker to the invasion of Nicaragua, a period that would alter his life forever. Eugene, a naturalist by nature, took to exploring the surrounding terrain, and in late 1855 made the first sightings of a wholly unnatural beast deep within the Nicaragua wilds. Eugene had spotted the Central American Windhauser, a creature that would bear his name. Triangular in shape and utterly fearsome, Eugene had trouble convincing his companions of his sighting, but upon return to America, he met one John Gray of California, who had also made sightings of this mysterious creature. Eugene spent the remainder of his days in California trying to convince the naturalist community of the existence of the triangular beast. Friend John Gray continued Eugene's discovery, offering the creature's description to a William Cox novel in the early 1900s. And now I will read an excerpt from William Cox's 1910 novel, Fearsome Creatures of the Lumber Woods. So let's begin. The Central American Windhauser. In spring 1906, there appeared suddenly in the coast ranges of California an uncanny animal from the regions of the isthmus. It is not a large beast, but what it lacks in size it makes up in meanness of disposition. None of the lumberjacks who have met a Whintosser on trail or tote road care to have the experience repeated. The Central American Whintosser is always looking for trouble or making it. In fact, the beast seems to be constructed for the purpose of passing through unusual experiences. Its head is fastened to its body by a swivel neck. So is its short, tapering tail. And both can be spun at the rate of 100 revolutions a minute. The body is long and triangular with 3 complete sets of legs. This is a great convenience in earthquake country, but since the animal is not disturbed by any convulsions of the earth, if the floor suddenly becomes the ceiling, it does not matter, for the Whintosser is always there with the legs. Its hair is bristly and all slants forward at a sharp angle. It has been found that a cat's 9 lives are nothing to the one possessed by a Windhauser. This animal may be shot, clubbed, or strung on a pike pole without stopping the wriggling, whirling motions or the screams of rage. The only successful way of killing the beast is to poke it into a flume pipe so that all its feet strike the surface. When it immediately starts to walk in 3 different directions at once, it tears itself apart. John Gray of Andana, Trinity County, California, knows where a pair of Windhossers live, in some fearsome broken-up country along Mad River. And thus is the entry into the 1910 book, Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods. Little is known about Arthur's exploits in his later life, but we do know he sired a child, and that child sired another child, who was Arthur P. Whintosser, and he is the grandson of Eugene Whintosser. Arthur spent his early years enthralled by stories of his distant relatives' encounter with the now named Central American Windhauser. Ever reclusive, little is known about Arthur's upbringing. He came to fame in mid-1955 when he took to gambling as a hobby, which turned into a career. Arthur was unable to avoid the spotlight as he went on a winning spree in the early 1960s. From horse racing to football, Arthur could not lose. He amassed a fortune, and before getting on the wrong side of any of his fellow gamblers, he disappeared from public view. Little else is known about Arthur. What is known is that he is relentless in his pursuit of creating tangible ideas. And it is Arthur who has created this great company. And I met Arthur at a plywood convention in the 1960s, and that is where we became friends, and we started this company with the pursuit to make humanity better. And so this concludes our story time about the history of Windhauser.